still on this little deck. Oh, if you hear anything, I swear, like, this neighborhood, constant construction. So if you hear any like banging or anything like that, it's because my neighbors have some form of construction going on right now. Okay, we're gonna see if we can't keep this relatively, whoop. Well, that's kind of static, but this is a no, okay. Somebody is pondering, at least they could be looking, but somebody's pondering. Oh yeah, we got another static one here. Kind of, it seems like, okay, here's the thing. Somebody is pondering their next move. It's like they're getting ready to get up, but they're thinking. If this is a non-magical person who is thinking, it's sort of like right now what they're doing is trying to get an idea of the big picture. What's best for me in my life? What is best for everyone in their lives? Is the action that I'm about to take in line with the big picture in whatever way they're understanding that? Because this isn't necessarily a spiritual or magical person, but I can read it both ways. If this is a spiritual or outright magical person, this person is literally getting in touch with higher beings, higher authorities, however they're conceiving of that. They are asking either ancestors or flat out non-human beings about what they should do. They are consulting a divine source. For a magical person, that's going to look a lot of different ways. If it's more of a traditional, like religious person, they will be praying. This would be somebody asking God for guidance, asking the Holy Spirit for guidance, or within the realm of like whatever a Jewish person would do, whatever like a Hindu person would do, whatever a Muslim person would do in that context. That's like the general message. So somebody wants to take an action, but they're checking. If this is more agnostic, this one's an outlier, but I'll throw it at you. Someone could be consulting AI. Somebody could be consulting the World Wide Web, but it's like a higher thing. So this would be like a large language model type of thing. Somebody could be doing that like on their phone or on their computer. So it could be kind of technologically based, but I don't see any swords here. So I would say that that's probably the outlier, but I wouldn't put it past anybody. So what we have here is, what we started off with is Temperance, the Two of Wands, and the King of Wands. So there's our person, right? Wanting to, because the King of Wands is almost like halfway like out of their chair to me in these pictures. They're looking, what a big picture. Big picture in whatever way that they are thinking about that. Because like I always say in the reads, I'll be talking about a person. It sounds like I'm talking about one person. It's just because there's one King of Wands here. The stories fractally repeat in a lot of different ways that I can't possibly cover. So the essence of a manifestation that you potentially receive, you'll be like, oh yeah, this kind of looks like what Allison was talking about, but like the details are going to be different. Or in this version of the story, in this timeline and dimension, it looked like this. Okay, these are all no's. So it's never just one person I'm talking about. It is many people. Even when I sometimes show up in a read, yeah, this is the internet, or this is like many divine sources. Or it's the big picture, because on this Temperance is the Seven of Cups. It's not really confusion. It's just like, I'm going to the clouds. I'm going to the clouds. I'm like scrying. So if this person does use divination, they might not even use a device. It's like they're going into meditation. They are consulting. They are on Mount Shasta, you know, with the Ascended Masters and Saint Germain of the Violet Flame, whatever girl, non-gendered girl. So like I said, it's never just one person. It's something that fractally repeats. Okay, yes, yes. It's because there's something that they very much want to do. Like, there's a move. The reason why this person is concerned is because whatever move they want to make, it has selfish intent behind. They're aware. They're aware. This is what I want is selfish. I want something selfish, and I want to go and do it now. And I could do it now. I could do it. And I think I would be successful. But is this for the greater good? The greater good, okay? Is it for the greater good? I don't know. So they are consulting. They are consulting with higher sources. So let's see what's going on with this King of Wands. Ace of Pentacles, well, no matter who it is, if it's a magical person, non-magical person, they want a result, obviously. Ace of Coins, that's also something probably, if this is especially a magical or spiritual person, they are receiving an answer from the divine source, the divine hand reaching out of what? The clouds, girl. They're receiving like a material thing. So that's going to be like a synchronicity that has their answer from the divine source occurring in real life. If it's not that, then this is about the material result that they want. Woo, Lord. 10 of Swords on this, on this Temperance and 7 of Cups. I don't know if that means, I'm getting a no on this. I was about to say they're getting like a negative answer, like you better not do this. I'm getting like a no, but it more seems like this person is aware. Like this person, whether they're magical or not, they would have tried what they're attempting to do now in the past, and it would have gone bad for them. So they're seeing the cycle again, right? Like this person has been through a certain number of cycles and they've ended up in the 10 of Swords. And so this person is now, oh, here's the cycle again. Here's what I want again, or what I believe I want. I could reach out and take it, but you know what? Every single time I have done that, and if like the story that I'm saying has some truth in it, this person, whoever that King of Wands is, and remember that just because it's a king, could be a woman, could be a non-binary person, could be a trans person, could be anybody. It's just that they are the player character of the game. They are the one who is actively manifesting, so they're going to show up as a yang energy. It's not necessarily a gender or a sexuality. It's an active magician, whether they consider themselves a magician or not. If this story has any truth about this magician, one of this person's big magical lessons or life lessons is about being selfish, is about trying to create something without considering the big picture, without considering how their actions affect other people. So let's say this person wants to get into a relationship. They would only be looking maybe at people who, A, would be like really attractive to them first off, like maybe a status thing. It's like they're only looking at the person and how they would serve them. They wouldn't be really thinking about the object of their supposed affection as a whole person independent of them. And so it would be sort of like, I wouldn't know, especially depending on how old this person is, that they would consider anyone sort of besides themselves as having like real feelings or like real desires of their own that are as like powerful or as important as this particular king's, right? And so when they're going to get into a relationship, all they're thinking about is what they want and their own happiness, and not really if that meshes well with the other person. Like they would be thinking like, oh, this person's just going to be on board. Well, I can just convince this person. Well, I can just make this person. And like, you cannot control the beings. Typically, if people have chemistry or whatever, you can kind of get away with some of that short term. And when I say short term, I mean anywhere from like 1 to 5 years. That is short term. Once you start progressing beyond that, it's like, if it doesn't start falling apart sooner, it's really going to start falling apart then. So this person's lesson is about how to consider other people, whether that's coming through spell casting or higher magical work, or through just, I want something and I'm going to get it through completely like mundane means. For me, that doesn't exist, like completely mundane means, I mean, but like for somebody who is like agnostic for atheist, it would. So I'm never quite sure how to talk about that. But they would be thinking about it that way, and it's completely valid. All right, Hanged Man. Yeah, see, like we got like, I don't know if I've uploaded them yet, but I'm trying to keep these reads short because I actually have like a little bit on my plate right now that I need to attend to. So I don't want to do a lot of editing, but I have longer reads that have this energy in them, that it's like they're in a loading screen. It's like, and they're kind of frustrating reads to get because there's no real action going on with them. It's someone doing a real big like deep dive into their own motivations and intentions. But like this sort of process is very deeply necessary. So if it's you who is recognizing themselves in this read as someone who's doing a deep dive into their own intentions and motivations, like, yeah, you're probably doing the exact right thing in order to get what it is that you truly want, or understand if it's even something that you actually want in the first place. Because sometimes we trick ourselves with stuff like that. If it's not you, but the read is resonating with you and you would deeply feel that like you're kind of waiting someone to take like some sort of action towards you, and you're like, I wonder why such and such like hasn't really done anything yet, or I wonder why this specific thing from another person really hasn't materialized into my life yet, this might be why. I might not have the details right, but it could be that someone's taking time to figure themselves out before they do or don't do something, because like both choices are going to end up being good for you no matter what result that you want. Because if someone ultimately decides, no, I don't want to like manifest a relationship with this person, it's because they're not the right like they don't mesh with you, they don't want what you want. So it's like you're not agreed within like the higher realms, where like malleable things like what we could describe of as a soul contract would be existing and forming. It's like y'all are in the process of like writing something, but at any time, if you come to an impasse on that contract, then it's sort of like, oh, okay, well, null and void, and all parties are going to walk away from the table. So like these things like aren't like permanent, or like, you know, the way people talk about it, like, well, that's just immutable. It's like, well, no, it's really not. So, I don't so much care what this person wants to do right now. I'm not going to look at that, because what's important is kind of the lesson here. I guess I'll query these higher forces, and then I'm curious to see what kind of like a synchronicity, because like this might be this person like seeing a synchronicity, or this is understanding the material result that I'm trying to achieve, like understanding that better. So what are the higher forces if we are privy to this information, okay? Because this might be very private when we're asking about what somebody's asking the higher forces. So if we can know what's going on here with these, what are the higher forces saying, weighing in? All right, the higher forces are saying, hey, you know, you got a lot, sir, madam. Can you share? Or is that like, because there's something about this, here's something else about this, there's something, and it's about this person's material, or it's about, if this is another person that they're looking to incorporate, there is something about, like I'm saying, sharing. There is something about selfishness that is being like imparted to this person. Because that doesn't come out of nowhere. That's like that's coming from like a place usually of like self-preservation kind of gone awry. There is something like the higher forces would be trying to communicate to this person that, hey, there is something about you, like you have a great deal, but when you attempt to share it, you get triggered. You get triggered. So they would be trying to like prompt that, like, why do you get triggered? I'll pull one on this. When you attempt to share either yourself or your things or money or whatever it is, it triggers you. Marriage, here's a good look. Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. What is it? What is it about marriage, commitment, intimacy, sharing money, sharing material, sharing a life? What is it about this that triggers you? Let me tell you, when it comes, because this is most definitely the King and Queen of Pentacles are like active, abundant spouses. I'm going to keep it at that because like most people aren't super duper triggered by like a friend. I mean, they could be, but that tends to come in like social groups. Like a group of people is potentially going to trigger another person, unless we're talking about really specific behaviors like between friends, because you can have like childhood issues triggered from someone who like reminds you of like a parent or something like that. But I'm going to keep that as like, this is someone who is very triggered by like something like marriage or like sharing. If it's not marriage, it's like deep intimacy. It's about sharing a life with someone else, sharing things with someone else triggers this person. And so whenever they have tried to manifest this in the past, or purportedly they say they want it, and then it ends in the Ten of Swords, the only thing this person can do, because they can't control that queen, the king can't control the queen. The king can only take agency over themselves. This is what you need to see. And if you don't want to overcome this, then this is not for you. Like that's kind of the process. It's like, well, unless if you don't want to overcome this thing that triggers you, it doesn't mean that you can't have a relationship with somebody, but it's going to end up being way more transactional, or it's going to be way more casual. It's like, no, you cannot have this and also have this and have it be functional and healthy and abundant and whatever. No, I'm sorry. So I'm going to ask separately. So what is this Ace of Pentacles? Because that's either the result itself or it's something that is being presented to this King of Wands as a synchronicity. The forces are presenting them like a situation or like an example or a person telling them something. You can manifest a read. That's something that can go on. Like I need an answer, and then like a reader pops up like with the title of the exact thing that you asked about, or like it pertains to it, and it's like you're getting a trend as well on multiple reads. There's your answer right there. And then if the read triggers you, that's a good thing, because it's like you're working it out either way, what you want and how you want to be in the world. So this Ace, what do we got? Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Now, let me see here. Five of Swords. This person is being presented. This is so interesting. Now, y'all know we've had Dick Witch energy on this channel. And remember, Dick Witch is not gendered either. I know witch tends to wear, like, that can be, people think of that as gendered. It can bring to mind women. It's not. Men can be Dick, non-binary people. Sir, madam, Dick Witches abound, okay? A Dick Witch is just somebody who is used, unless, you can't have an asexual Dick Witch. I'm fairly certain you can't. That's for the asexual people to comment on. But it's someone who is manipulating sexuality, their own or their other person, in like it's being used as a maladaptive coping mechanism. It's not someone who just enjoys casual sex. It's somebody who is controlling people through like sex or sexuality. It is typically like sex as self-harm. Like that's what that is. And so what's going on here is whoever this King of Wands is, well, we got a Queen of Wands. 5 of Swords, 2 of Swords, Dick Witch. This person is being presented with an example of a Dick Witch. They are being presented, so this person, our King of Wands would be purporting, right? What do I want? I want, we'll just keep it gendered. I want wifey, right? Because we got queens here and the kings up there. I want a wife. If that's true, then if we present you with a Dick Witch, you should be able to know the difference and say no. You should be able to recognize the difference between, you can't turn a hoe into a house, whatever way it's manifesting, you should be able to tell the difference and you should be able to choose. He chose poorly, he chose wisely. You should be able to deny the Dick Witch and choose the wife. So that's kind of how this would be presented to this person, or at least an example. So it might not be like an actual person walking up to them, though we have the Ace of Pentacles. So while this person is out saying, I want a wife, I want a wife, Dick Witch walks right up and, hey, how about you and me? Like blah, blah, blah. If that person truly wants a wife, state of engagement, they will say no thank you, sir, madam, to the Dick Witch, and they will go on their way. And they will only choose to engage with what? A spouse or a wife. They will only go to the places where a wife would be. Because in general, right, I'm not saying that like spicy workers can't be, but they absolutely spicy workers can be spouses, but typically, are you looking for a spouse at a strip club? No, like that's where like the spicy workers who are spouses are at work. They're going to be meeting their spouses potentially elsewhere. Like, okay, so like, that's what I'm talking about. Where are you hanging out? What are you looking at online? Are you like looking at corn every single day? Like, and you think that you're in the energy to be with a spouse or a wife? That's also no. Also no, in general. Okay, because I'm not saying that people who aren't married can't participate in that sort of activity together. I'm just saying in general. State of engagement, what are you choosing to interact with every day? If it's spouse stuff, you should be interacting with spouse things. Like, do you have your finances in order to establish a marriage? Do you have property? What's going on here? And those are all the things that you would be engaging with if what you are purporting to want is actually true and authentic. So that is what the synchronicity is. So depending on how this person interacts with whatever manifestation of the Dick Witch that they are getting, which from here, it looks like they are saying no, and violently no, perhaps. I do not want Dick Witch. I am enlightened, I want the spouse. So, but this could be a test that haven't like fully finished going through yet, because I've been getting this stuff, like people trying to like work stuff out with like fully fledged manifested Dick Witches in their lives, or it's like an energy. It's an energy, it's something that they're self-reflecting on. They are shadowboxing phantom Dick Witches like of the past, like, you know. So I will go ahead and see if our King of Wands has in fact learned anything. Have they received the enlightenment, or will they? And then we will look at final advice outcome. All right, what are they learning? Well, they're learning something successfully, probably. 6 of Wands, something successful is happening here. The Moon. Whatever deep dive, and I've been getting this as well, whatever deep dive this collective of energies is going on, it is productive. It is likely, it is going to be successful. Yes, Knight of Swords. What I have also been getting in the longer reads, which I'm going to release since this keeps repeating itself, is that these people are in general being like ruthless with themselves. Like they're not trying to cope. They're not trying to make excuses for themselves. They're kind of like, if I say I want this, then like, what am I doing with this? So it seems like whoever these people are, they are being productive and they will likely be successful. And so we will get the final advice outcome, and then we're going to dip, because I'm trying to keep this under. Before I edit this, this is, we're approaching like the 30-minute mark, and I'm just like, rrr. Well, this person has an actual person or an idea of a person in mind. And who is it? It's the Queen of Cups, the person that whoever we're looking at, the type that they are going for. Both the Queen of Coins and the Queen of Cups are very nurturing energies. They're very loving, very like in the positive aspects, right? Because they both have negative aspects as well. But this is like very, very different. It's much softer than Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. And I'm not saying that this type wouldn't also have those aspects as well. It's just different. Like what is ascendant in the type or the actual person that the King of Wands is going for it is much different than their usual type, right? And so that is usually a challenge as well. So this is a type that they're looking at, or they are looking at an actual person. I will go around one more time, but the general outcome is, I am being strong, I am taming the beast, it might be a struggle for this person, the Dick Witch energy. Like we said, like, you know, life has challenges. So they are being strong, taming the beast, being self-reflective, because they are looking at a specific person that they like, or this is a type. They have a type in mind or a specific person in mind, and they just know, looking at that person, this person is not a Dick Witch. They are not going to respond to what a Dick Witch would respond to. And so if I come at them, King of Swords, this person might also be guarded. This person could have brothers or like siblings that are just like, I will fight you. Like if you even think that you are coming near my sister, cousin, or like this could be a spiritual thing, like you're not coming, that's my charge, that is my material charge, and I am a lower ranked angel up here, like no. The Hermit, the High Priestess, like this person's doing deep soul searching, but they are also like not known to this other, who is potentially an actual person, because I got two people over here. So it's sort of like, until this person can come correctly, it's like, whoop, nope, under guard. I don't know if it's not abandoning, because I got the Eight of Cups on this strength. Oh, that's talking about you need to complete a specific emotional process first, or an internal process. That's all. Yeah. And like you cannot walk towards, I got the Nine of Coins on this. You cannot walk towards this person until you have completed this process, because it is only after that transformative process is complete that they would be able to talk. Like you can't even approach the spouse if you're deep in Dick Witch energy, because the spouse is just going to be like, ew, like who, like, ooh, nasty. Like you're gonna smell like it, like, oh no. Potentially this is someone that they, when I'm saying work with, it's someone who they would see regularly. Hopefully that's not like a work thing, because I've been okay, this is someone who they know. So likely the person that I'm talking about who's doing the deep dive, knows a specific person. And it's someone who they've interacted with in real life, at least fairly consistently at some point. And so like they probably have like people in common or like something like that. But anyway, that's the read. We're going to go ahead and close it there, because like it seems like the energies that I'm talking about are still in a deeply personal process. And until you complete that, you really don't know what decision that a person's going to make, because they could come through their whole process and realize that while yes, I maybe do like want a spouse, I don't want that right now. It's not the right time for me. I need to go elsewhere. Or they could realize that while they want a spouse, it's actually not that person that they were looking at. And the entire point of this whole situation was just to get them into the transformation in the first place.